And we are back. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We are back. Love to see it. Apologies for that, everyone. Thank you for sticking around. Slight technical issues. Although I am glad it's myself having the technical issues and not the drivers on track.
Techno problems, techno notice, right? That's what we say.
Words to live by.
Well,
Right.
So updates. We still have the top three running all within about 3 seconds of each other. So that's Victor, Calces, and Moist. Aiden is taking a pit stop. He's right in the middle of that group. Then we have the mid pack. We've got Ice Cream, Jesse, Ank is going to dive into the pits. So Callie and Stein also in that group, all still running together. That's where most of the action is at the moment.
Yeah, it looked like Aiden Jones has fallen back a little bit from that group. He looked to be a few seconds off of them, so I'm not sure if anything happened, but it'll be interesting with his outlap if he's able to recover some of that time. As we see him reintegrate into the grid in 9th position. Ankbank will be joining back in 12th position. Those two, the only two to put a lap, and it looks like Destroyer as well has retired into the pits. Unlucky today, Destroyer. Solid effort from yourself.
Yeah, so now you come into the tricky part where you're going to, if you're going from the mediums to the hards, you're going to come out on cold, hard tires, whereas the other drivers will go from the hards onto the slightly softer but still cold medium tire.
Yes, very true. And so it's interesting, therefore, if we're looking at the lap times with now all of the mediums onto the hards, therefore excluding the bottom three drivers who are a fair amount behind the rest of the grid, the front 13 are all on their hard tyres, so timing of the pit stop will be crucial.
As a note, Ankbank and Aiden are actually on fresh hards, so they've already made their pit stop from medium to hard tire.
Yes. And that says everything, and it will be so important, therefore, that they're able to, at these early laps on these hard tyres, and put some good lap times in, because, as we know, with this sort of strategy, a medium to a hard, your biggest loss is at the towards kind of the mid to end section of the race, when everyone's going to be on fresh mediums and you're going to be on hards that are a few laps old. So really, really important few laps for those guys.
Yeah, definitely the middle, and I would actually argue it's more the beginning and the middle as opposed to the end in the middle, because as you get towards the end of the race, those medium tires have worn down too. So it really just depends on where the crossover point is and who's there and who's not.
As we see on the Kennel Straight, it's a three-way fight between Cali Rob, Jesse Force, and Ice Cream, and it looks like Cali Rob. Oh, and he spun it out to the right. I don't know if there was contact there between Jesse Force and Ice Cream. Cali Rob and Ice Cream, sorry, but the Ferrari, unfortunately, the big loser there, dropping down into 8th, maybe 9th position, as it looks like Aiden Jones does cash in. So Cali Rob down into 9th position. Ice Cream, Jesse Force, and Steinmine still just sitting in the background. Smart driving from the Red Bull, just letting the drivers make the mistakes and cashing in behind them. But Ice Cream and Jesse Force still going head to head.
Yeah, from experience, the strategy from Steinmine there is that's definitely how you make it into the Captain Sunday spot. You just kind of, you stay close, you drive as smart as you can, and you just capitalize on the mistakes of others.
Very smart thing to do, as we see the other Red Bull, Kausis, now jumping into the pits. The Haas of Moist Fish also jumping into the pits. This is fairly early, I would have thought, for the hards, so clearly a tactical ploy, and Victor is going to need to put in a good lap time. But interestingly, we see Victor is all out of battery, so he is at the wits of his 11 lap old tyres.
Yeah, so we'll see here with Aiden Jones where he comes out in comparison to those two that stopped. So Aiden was 4th when he came into the pits, and I think Calces and Moist are all the way up the road quite a ways.
Yeah,
so,
they really are.
Aiden was maybe 3 to 4 seconds behind them initially, so It looks like the hard onto medium strategy is currently paying the dividends, although we've still got a few more pit stops to be made.
We do indeed, yes. The drivers from 4th down to 7th still yet to pit, so Aiden is effectively still in P4. But you are right, it is a big time gap now, considering how long he was able to hold with that front group. So realistically, we are looking at a Victor Kaus's Moist podium unless something dramatic happens. But which order? Still yet to know.
Yeah, these are the situations where Kelsey's has shown through. I think in his previous 2 wins, I know certainly in Monza, Silverstone's, I've slept since then, so it's not quite in the memory, but in those races, Kelsey's didn't lead for most of them. He stayed close, he stayed at the top, just waited for the right moment to strike, and at the end, got his car up to the front.
Yes, and we see Victor is pitting now, so we'll jump on board with Kelsey's. From the looks of things, there's a very good chance he might sneak into the lead here. The Red Bull, that early pit stop may be paying dividends, but we'll see as he crosses the line now. Vix has just left the box. Kelsey's crosses the line, comes through into turn 1. We'll stay on board with Kelsey's. He's taken the lead, but obviously has a wider angle in turn 1, and they're head-to-head coming through Eau Rouge, but Kelsey's has done it. He's taken the lead. Victor just behind him, though, so definitely still in with a shout. And interestingly, Moist Fish is now just over 2 seconds further back. So clearly Kelsey's has put in a very good opening couple of laps on those medium tyres.
Yeah, Victor weaving on the Kemmel Straight, trying to get some more temperature to try to keep up with Kelsey's. And that's Cali Rob out of the session. Can we see what happened there? That's up in Radion. He's into the side of the wall, and that'll be a safety car? Full safety car.
That is a full safety car. Wow. So that is great news for the likes of Jesse Force and Steinmine. Or, well, it depends how quickly they can get around the track and get some fresh mediums. But assuming the pack don't bunch too much, you want to think Jesse, Stein, and Rusty have really cashed in there.
Right. Well, I would guess that the gaps are going to stay about the same because right now all the drivers have to meet that delta. So I would think that the gaps should stay pretty similar. I don't think we'll see too much bunching. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's a blessing. They'll get a pit stop, and the guys behind them will be at a reduced speed. So yeah, it may not be the most ideal pit stop. You may not have that 30-second gap behind you can sneak in, but it'll work out. I'm sure they're happy either way.
And the interesting question now is Aiden Jones and Ankbank, do they pit for another set of mediums if they have them?
That's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know.
I feel like
we can watch on board and see if they will.
If they feel confident they can maintain, even if they lose, say, 2 places, I mean, the ability to avoid the inevitable onslaught of the medium tyres around them. And it looks like Aiden Jones is ducking in for the pits. We'll check Ankbank. We'll jump on board with him. Is he going to jump in as well? The AlphaTauri driver is jumping in. So, yes. All of those drivers that have yet to pit, including the 2 that started on the medium, will get some fresh tyres on. So we will have a full medium grid coming into the final few laps.
Oof. Just saw Turtle Hopper overtake Ice Cream on the front straight and picks up a speeding penalty, so that'll settle that.
That will. And now that we're all on the same tyres, we'll keep the penalties on screen so we can keep an eye. Turtle Hopper, we'll have a drive-through plus a 5 seconds, so not a good safety car period for him.
No, not sure what happened there. So Ice Cream was going slow on the straight. I'm guessing was trying to get under the delta, and Turtle just sent it on his left, which not advised. I don't know. Maybe Turtle Hopper wanted to get out in front of Aiden and any of the other guys swapping to mediums, but I mean that would have been really confusing move by Turtle Hopper, especially because we warn the drivers. Even if the game tells you to overtake, it's best not unless they're off track. So a little confusing sequence there, but I'm sure I'll get the benefit. Oh, Well, now I'm migrating hosts.
And Tak's been kicked out the session. I mean, I feel quite lucky in that, as it's my footage that's being presented, I don't need to do any audio commentary for everyone, as they can still see what's going on. But hopefully Tak can rejoin us very soon. I mean, thankfully there's not much going on right now with the safety car, so not a huge amount is being missed. I think we probably will have another lap of the safety car. We've still got cars very much not bunched up. I do feel a bit bad for Morris, who is in last position but is caught up in the grid. And as we know, when you're caught up in the grid, the game does not let you unlap yourself. So he, unfortunately, as soon as the safety car jumps into the pits next lap, will have to let the entire grid past him, which is not a fun position to be in. And I speak from experience there, having done the exact same thing in Singapore. But yeah, we will have one more lap under this safety car, which means we'll have 6 laps left of this race. Kaus is in the lead, Victor in P2, and Moist Fish, all 3 of them penaltyless in the front 3.
It's really a shame that the game doesn't let you unlap yourself as frequently as you should be able to, because that's really going to have an impact on Morris's race. So yeah, I think it's a shame that the game's not programmed. I'll go ahead and say it's not programmed correctly. But
Tak out here spitting some truth for everyone. Yeah, I mean, it does basically condemn Morris to a 15th position finish. There's nothing he can do. As he said, he's going to have to let everyone through. And with the laps, having a drive-through, and well, I guess Turtle Hop with a drive-through, he might be able to get there, but the amount of time he's going to have to make up, it's insurmountable. I'm going to go as far as to say so. Unfortunate, but 15th still does have points involved. So it's definitely some in there for him. 6 points, I believe, 15th has. So we look forward to the end of this race. And it looks like Turtle Hop has had some technical difficulties as well.
Yeah, I've sent him a re-invite, so we'll see if he's able to slide back in. Not the first time that Turtle Hopper's fallen out of the session, though, so...
Yeah, apparently his PlayStation has turned off entirely.
Oh.
So...
Lovely.
It'll be interesting. Hopefully he's able to rejoin before the restart. He has still got another 30 seconds or so, so... Hopefully he should be fine. This should be the safety car coming in this lap. As he's just got Tambar now, he should be able to regain.
Yeah, Tambar will be in a good spot because he'll arrive on the grid with probably the warmest tires if he keeps the pace up.
Very much so. I always find it is a tough line to balance yourself on behind the safety car between keeping your tyres warm and not wearing them out entirely. As I have sometimes I have been known to have safety car periods where I put on fresh tyres, and by the time the safety car's going back in, they're already about 20% worn. Because I've done a bit too much warming up.
I don't think I've ever considered that. Most of the time my tires are not warm enough at all, even at racing speed. So I don't know. Maybe I need a driving style change, a little more aggressive.
As we see, the safety car has not gone in, even though the pack is bunched together. So, not sure what's going on here, but it should definitely be in this lap, which means we'll have 5 laps of the race remaining.
Well, who's our driver? Is it Bern Mylander who drives safety car?
Yeah, I believe so.
Whoever it is, I couldn't blame him. I mean, if you gave me the chance to go around a couple laps in this track, I'd certainly make it. I'd certainly be down to go for one more, whether or not it was advised.
Very much so. I do wonder sometimes with the safety car's pace, whether he is effectively going flat out. Like, if he had to, how much faster could he go?
Well, I don't know. I think if you really wanted to find out, you could check his lap time versus the lap time of a GT car going around on a hot lap or a race lap or whichever way you'd like it.
But probably
a race lap. So
do you think he's really putting the pace in, or is he like how much more is in his lap time as opposed to when he's doing the safety car stint?
I would say a lot more. I would say there's a lot more that a lot more pace in the safety car than they unleash. However, the safety car is meant to control the race, not set the fastest time. So can you imagine having to throw a safety car because the safety car is in the wall?
Or even more embarrassing, the safety car puts in fastest lap of the race. That'd be devastating if you saw that flashing up on your Delta.
Yeah. Well, isn't that what we had? Spa 2021 or 2020? Almost. I mean, I think actually Mazepin ended up with the fastest race lap, but you might as well have given it to the safety car.
Very much so. It looks like we've got Turtle Hoppers in the chat. I don't know what that says about his potential to jump back into his car. Turtle Hopper, if you are in the chat and you can hear us, let us know. But the safety car is in, so Kouses is now controlling the pace of this race. And he is taking his time, as you'd expect. No need to start this early, as you might get overtaken coming into the bus stop. Well, you can't get overtaken in the bus stop, so I don't know why I'm saying that. But yeah, drivers tend to leave it quite late here in Spa.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got two options. You either coming out of the bus stop, that's when you put the pedal to the metal. That's a slow corner. You get a lot of people who make a mistake out of there. Looks like Kelsey's has gone just a little bit before the bus stop, and I don't really blame him because now all the drivers behind you, they have to speed up and then almost immediately slow back down. So
yeah,
not too bad of a strategy.
No, very smart, and it looks like it's caught Moist Fish out a little bit. He's already over a second behind, and with Jesse Force breathing down his neck, he's not going to be a happy bunny. And it looks like Morris has retired into the pits. And is that Ice Cream? No, Turtle Hopper. It's the AI of Turtle Hopper falling down the grid. And it looks like Tambar's knocked the wall slightly. Don't think he's got any damage, but he has now lost a couple of seconds on, looks like the AI of Thick Reagent. So lots of AI is managing this here, but as it stands, Kouses with the lead. Victor in P2, Moist Fish in P3.
Yeah, Morris with the retirement. The cars still come back out on the track, but that's okay because it's a long lap and it'll be cleared before any issues. So.
And I think massive thing, especially with the safety car being this late in the race. I mean, there's only 5 laps left to go now. Those penalties are going to pay just as much of a... They're going to play so much more of an impact in the final results here that Kouses, Victor and Moist, I don't know how many warnings they've got, but I'm sure that they know that if they get a 3 seconds on, they can wave goodbye to a race win today.
Yeah, you really want to drive with some caution here. How many does Jesse have? So Jesse and Stein are sitting on 3 seconds, so you have a little bit of leeway with them, but not much. I mean, you get a 3 second and then all of a sudden you are on for position with them. So
very much so, and it looks like the car's a similar sort of pace, but we're not going to have DRS this lap. It will be end of next lap, but Kouses does put in the fastest lap of the race. So it's a potential bonus couple of points for him if he's able to keep hold of it. Moistfish just about keeping within a second. This lap will be crucial for him. Just to not get stuck in. DRS is so powerful around here. As it looks like Ankbank. Oh, is it Ice Cream has had a little bit of a wobble.
Yep, struggled out of the source, I believe.
He does indeed, which means that he's dropped back into 11th. Means all the cars behind him inevitably have overtaken again. There is a bit of a gap, therefore, building between 6th and 7th position. Ankbank is 3 seconds behind, but he's got clear air now, so he's got every opportunity to try and chase down the Alfa Romeo in front of him.
Yeah, in terms of battles on track, looks like Jesse trying to get under the skin of Moist Fish and maybe Dolo and Revelation, but with that penalty, Dolo's not going to be much of a contest. I think sticking with the leaders is the way to go on this one.
Very much so. We are currently on board with Jesse. We'll keep an eye on him Yeah, OTL in the chat saying that we could see Kalsis getting a hat-trick of wins, which will be incredibly impressive, considering, I don't know what his best ever finish in PRL is. I know he's been a Premier driver for quite a few seasons now, but I'm going to do a little bit of research whilst we're here.
Right, you go on, and I'll keep tabs on the leaders. Looks like Victor got a little loose coming through the bus stop. That's given Moist Fish the opportunity to close up. He's going to go for the overtake. Moist Fish setting the best lap time of the race. So DRS is coming to effect. Kalsis has pulled out 1.3 seconds on Victor, so I don't think Victor's going to have... No, they've just gone through the detection point, so Victor won't have DRS. That's going to help Kalsis to pull away, especially because Moist, Jesse, and Stein, all behind Victor, do have DRS. So they're going to open the door even farther for Kalsis to try to run away with this race. And this is the type of scenario where Kalsis has done the best, just holding on to the lead in the last few laps of the race. That's how he did it. I think that's how he did it in Monza. Either that or he took it on the last lap. I can't quite remember. But, yeah, this is Kalsi's style of race. So he should be well suited. Looks like coming down here to the left-hander. It does have a name. I'm going to refuse to use it. I will call it the left-hander. Looks like they've actually fallen out of DRS with the exception of Jesse keeping it tight on Stein. And Victor trying to get into the DRS of Kalsis, but really struggling to keep it under a second.
Right, I've done my research. I can officially say that so season 5 last season he did not race, as we were not crossplay at the time, but season 4 he finished 6th with 0 wins. Season 3 he finished 7th with 1 win, and then season 3 he finished 10th, I believe. So he's someone that's always been up there, but this is very much the heady heights. He didn't win in season 3 either, so before this season he'd had 1 win and a career best finish of 6th in Premier Tier, so absolutely smashing it.
Yeah, so Kalsi's, well, he didn't race with us last season because he made the switch to PC before we did, or before crossplay anyhow. So I don't know, maybe PC's the way to go and see what it's done for Kalsi's.
What you're suggesting, everyone, PC is overpowered. Whatever you're doing.
I'm just suggesting that everybody else in Tier 2 remain on the PlayStation while I move to the PC is what I'm... That's what I'm suggesting.
Strong words there from Tat Delta. We'll see if it pays off. We've got Tambar overtaking Dolo, moving up into 11th position. Other than that, it's still the front 4, where it's all to play for. Kalsis, Victor, Moist, and Jesse. Jesse is in with the pack, but he does have that 3-second penalty, so he's going to need to pull something pretty miraculous out the bag if he's going to get a podium position at this point. Moist Fish just falling out of the 1 second, so just starting to struggle to keep up with the Ferrari in front.
Yeah, he's building it back up through here, though, and coming through this one I like, Blanchimont. Coming through Blanchimont, you can pick up a little bit of time. It really just depends on your exit from the preceding corner.
Yeah, it's with so many long straights, the exit, it's just so important because it can win and lose you a second of time in worst case scenarios, which is
absolutely,
yeah, gaining or losing a position. So again, coming through, looks like Victor a little bit squirrely coming out the first corner, but doesn't really lose too much time. We'll jump on board quick to see how much battery they have. Victor looks like he's got about 10%. Kalsis with a bit more, about 25%. Moist with about 25%, and Jesse with about 10%. So very similar amounts. It looks like Victor's going to go for the move. He goes around the outside, but doesn't quite have enough pace to close the distance. And he was using a bit of energy there, so lost out a little bit, and Kalsis is able to keep the position. We are 1.5 laps from the end here, so the timing of the overtake is also just as important as It's one thing to move into first place, but if you become a sitting duck to P2, it's maybe not the best to do it early. So Victor tried to get the move done in an interesting time, but we'll see now when he goes for his next opportunity, if he has one.
Yeah, Victor had the fastest time through Sector 1. And we're in Sector 2 now, so we'll see. They're setting their best lap times right now, though, which makes sense. The medium tires, they're probably still in pretty good shape, considering half the laps were done under a safety car. Cars are super light right now, so we'll probably see fastest laps up till the end of the race. I think either Moist or Jesse holds it right now.
Yes, we'll see the exit. We'll keep on board with Victor. We'll just have a look at their exit coming out of turn 1, as it will be absolutely crucial to see whether Victor can win this race as we enter the final lap of Premier Tier here in Spa. Looks like Kalsis has a very good corner. Victor not too bad, but he will lose a little bit of time. So he's using all of his battery, whereas Kalsis is doing the same. So the two of them are going head to toe. Kalsis is trying to break the toe, and it looks like Victor won't have enough closing speed to get the move done through the Canal Straight. So he's got one opportunity left now coming through. So this midsection will be crucial for him to try and close the gap as much as he can.
Yeah, and where would that opportunity be? Sector 3, maybe getting a good exit?
Yeah, realistically at this point, you're not going to get a move done unless Kalsis makes a mistake. Getting a move done through Sector 2 is almost impossible. So yeah, he's got to hope that he has a fantastic Sector 2, closes up the gap, and then has a good exit through the back straight in Sector 3 and able to get the overtake done. But looks like none of the front pack have any battery left, so it'll be interesting if he's able to, but he's losing time to Kalsis. Kalsis looks like he's got this wrapped up as Revelation gets a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, Kalsis, I think, setting a best lap time right now. He's got a little bit of battery. He's using up whatever shreds he has left. I don't blame him. But yeah, this should be Kalsis' win.
It should be Kalsis' win indeed, as we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. Looks like the Alfa Romeo of Aiden Jones had a little wobble, but Kalsis will go through the bus stop chicane and will make it. 3 wins out of 3 Premier Tier. Victor crosses line in through P2. Moist Fish finishes off the podium, the Haas picking up 3rd spot. Jesse Force has that 3-second penalty, but with the penalties behind him means that he secures 4th position. Ankbank, what a recovery from him. He was, I believe, last position coming out of the first corner, lap 1. He finishes in 5th. Steinmine, 6th position. Revolution in 7th. Aiden Jones in 8th position. Ice Cream crosses the line in 9th. Rusty, reserving up, finishes in 10th. Tambar, not his day, but he still gets 11th position, which is a very... Oh, no, he won't get 11th position, as Dolo does have 3 seconds less of a time penalty. So Dolo will cross the line to pick up 11th. Tambar will pick up 12th.
Yeah, those two got into a tangle on this last lap, so we may even see something in the steward's room change the result. But Ankbank, your driver of the day, well deserved. I think, as we said, he fought his way back up from the back of the grid.
Yes, very much so. A brilliant race. I mean, I'd be hard to argue against that. It very much was a solid effort from him to recover from what was a terrible start. As we see Kalsis now walking through the tunnel, enters the podium on the top step, a position he knows very well now. As we said before, 1 win before this season in his entire PRL career, and he's now got 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row. Have we seen a stint like that in PRL before? I can't quite recall.
Honestly, I don't think so.
Across any tiers.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. I mean, some drivers won the championship last year with 2 wins under their belt, so don't want to give an omen too early, but a brilliant start for his efforts to win his first PRL title.
Yeah, well, that puts us what are we, a quarter of the way through the season now? 3 races in, 9 to go.
We are indeed, yeah, 3 out of 12.
So that's a very, very good start. We'll see how the championship shakes up as we go along, but yeah, like you said, not to put an omen down, but good results. Good results.
Good results indeed. And just to finish up that grid from earlier, we've got Fit Reagent in 13th, Turtle Hopper in 14th, and then our 3 DNFs, Morris, Cali Rob, and Destroyer at the back of the grid. Well, what a race, Tack. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been good comms, and I'll see you on the grid.
I'll see you on the grid. Stay tuned, everyone. Tier 1 will be coming up in about 15 minutes' time, and then we'll have Tier 2 in about 2 hours from now, all on the same channel. Join us soon. Goodbye.